Hey YouTube, it's your girl Jamina Love back with another video. Welcome back, welcome back. How are you doing, my busy bee? Staying busy, I hope. Keeping it sexy, always. And guess what it is now? Sweater weather. Oh yeah, you're gonna see me doing my Mr. Rogers changing sweaters every so often. And yes, don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. That is, I just realized that on camera that I need to dye my hair again. Yeah, those are my little friends I get every so often. But anyways, that's not what we're here. We're here for sweater weather. What does that mean? That means that it is time for us to dig into our makeup bags again, swap it out, check our products because it is now going to get cold. Certain liquid products do not work well in the cold. Some solids don't work well in the cold. But there are some provisions that we have to take for ourselves. Even though we're wearing masks nowadays, sometimes I've been wearing a shield, so I have been able to go out with a full face of makeup and still show off my gorgeousness that I love to do. And the way I do that is I have to literally double prime, double cream to make sure that everything is nice and smooth and everything is filled in. So I brought out one that I did not like in the summertime, but have fallen in love with during the chillier weather, which is the Professional from Benefit. This is the full size. I know you can see in my background sometimes I have both of the little baby ones because, I wanted to make sure I understood, the moisturizer one and the original one. So this is the pearl one and this is the pore primer. Now, all that means is that this has a shine to it compared to this one. And they have a hydrating one. I have not used the hydrating one, so I can't give you any input on the hydrating one, but I can give you input on this one. And it's just fine in the wintertime for me. It is a drier formula, so you have done all your skincare. But before you moisturize, this is just my suggestion, because this is the way I do it for the wintertime, to actually absorb some moisture. Your essence, all your toners, put all that on first. But before you moisturize, spot pore treatment. This does not need to go all over your face. That's why they say to use like a dime size amount. It isn't really needed all over the face. It's really needed where you are the oiliest and want to conceal those pores. And that's usually your T-zone. Well, I consider my T-zone pretty far, and the forehead definitely pretty far, and then the center of my face is fine. But usually I'm putting this, and you stretch it out all over this area of my face where my pores are the biggest and I have the most issues in the winter time, which is basically all this forehead, And it has like a pale, to me, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it did discolor my skin. So you can see that it is actually on there. I don't know if that was a benefit or a non-benefit, but I know that I would not wear this alone. But the way I get rid of this is I use my creams now. And I've been in love with this CBD cream called Lift It. And you don't need much. It is super creamy. It's a super thick cream. And I just use a little bit in my T-zone area, once again, like I said, to get those areas that I feel I need the most. Especially when this goes on, because it's really, really dry. The primer. It's a really dry primer. You can actually hear your skin going, that it's dry. So you don't think it's really doing anything. But it is, and I just moisturize in my T-zone, my version of a T-zone, which is usually just, I figure my circle, my C zone, my forehead and my cheek zone area. And then you would use your other primers. Like this is a moisturizer and a base from Clarins. And it's super thick too. Super thick. And you don't need much of it either. You just put that in your good areas. I use this now across everywhere because this is my primer base for my foundation. And it will do the same kind of thing the Benefit will do. Feel like it's dried out right away and that it's just really just like on the skin. That's why I put that middle moisturizer, and that will help push all these products where they need to go, where you only need that little pea size worth. You don't need to glob on a whole bunch of primer thinking it's going to help. It's not. It's going to just move your foundation. So now it's time for our foundation. And I'm just going to use my regular foundation and then let you see how that reacts. You know, it's just going to sit in. It's not going to sit on the skin. The pores are not going to, because I like to push it in with a sponge afterwards. I haven't done this with you guys in a while, like my base. So I thought it would be good for you to see that your girl is still in a regular base. And yes, I changed my foundation from a lighter hue to a darker hue in the winter, just so I don't look like the living dead. You know, it's not a bad thing, but it's not necessarily the best thing to look like Night of the Living Dead all year round. You know, at least sometimes I like to warm up my skin just a little bit more. And I love, this is a Yessa brush. If you're wondering, it came with its bronzer with my Ipsy bag one month. And I use that Yessa bronzer as a foundation because it is my summer color. You know? It is just that light for my skin. And so it's my summer color. And I'm not using a wet sponge. I'm not using a damp sponge even. Well, he's a little damp. He was washed earlier. And it's by Hank and Henry that I like to use dry. Just to push in everybody and make sure that nothing will move and get out of the way, you know? Make sure I get it in the spots the brush could not go. And I did put a little foundation, as you've seen the discoloration on my eyes. I did put a little foundation on my eyelids. It's not going to go anywhere because, as you know, your girl is a powder hoe. I cannot wait, I swear you guys, to get on the subject of powder. I cannot wait to try the one size powder from Patrick Starr. He does have a sample size or trial size on there for half the price, so that I can at least try it and not feel overwhelmed by it. Now this is more rich too. Even your concealer changes in the summer, from the summer to the winter, and this is a more, I guess you would, I don't know what you exactly say, like cool tone. This is a cooler, so you can see, it is a cooler tone than my everyday, I have to match since we're going to do it like that, than my everyday, which has been the one from Too Faced, the Born This Way, which is a lot brighter in that sense. But this is a cool tone one. That's the Oprah. And then I'm using a little of the Morphe one, which is also a cool tone. So we cool tone it up in the winter time, but also still gotta brighten. You know, gotta be brightening. Gotta look like letting some of the sun in because, you know, sometimes it is cloudy. And I don't want everybody seeing the clouds. Cover up all them great things. Now, you wonder why I do that. I don't know why I've always done that to my smile line. Highlight it a little bit when you want to kind of like get rid of it. But it's like, why not enhance what you got? And if that is your enhancement piece, let me just blend this away on the cheeks before it settles. It didn't do anything to it, to my foundation, you know? It didn't mess it up, it didn't move it. So that's what I really like about that Ofra. It is not my summer. it is definitely my winter concealer. And that's the Oprah concealer in Husk. That is definitely my winter concealer. And then, where did I do with the Morphe one? Just that quick, I just set it down. Okay. And the Morphe one is in, I don't know. But it came in a BoxyCharm, so that tells you nothing. You know, because the BoxyCharm don't really tell us much of nothing either. But it is a cooler tone, and it is it does all the same benefits that I want it to do. You know, still got the moisturizing, still got the brightening, and it still makes me feel, you know, concealed. If I want to conceal, like if I had any acne or things like that, it will conceal, and that is a good part about it. And then, once again, I mean, if I want to just make sure everything's good and settled, push it in with the brush. Now, you want to, I don't know, a lot of people don't want to be dewy and don't want to be ashy with all the powder in the winter. Hear me out. I am a powder hoe, so I'm not going to stop powdering. But I'm going to powder in a different way. I don't use a lot of setting sprays either. But I did get a hold of this setting mist by Tarte. And it is a, like, mist mister. And it does have its sparks. And I just give myself a few mists. Like, because it's continuous spray. Don't worry about it drying down all the way or not. And that's when I go into my pressed powder. You're like, what? Yeah. Your girl does do pressed powder too. So I've got two of them here. My winter and summer looks, which is the Born This Way, and this is an Estee Lauder in 6W1. But I end up using both of them. I use more pressed powder in the winter than I do in the summer. And I just use I like to use a big fluffy brush, and I'll start with the lightest one, which is my Born This Way. And I do it the same way I do all my powders. I just start just dabbing it on before you even try to move it. Don't move nothing, you guys. Listen. Don't start swirling your brush. Don't start swiping until you get this powder set down, because you will take all of that liquid, all of that moisture that you just put in your face, and it will move all your makeup to the side. Like, it would be terrible. Boys to Men video. Honestly, it would just move all your stuff. So you don't want to do that. So I'm put it everywhere as much as I can, and then I'll move on to the darker color, which is still my color. I mean, it's not darker or lighter. It's just a little bit warmer. And I will dab that everywhere too. More so on the outer edge of my face and not so much on my inner T-zone, because I want to keep that nice and bright. And then, let's dab a little extra here. We will start swirling, okay? And swirling towards the scalp to blend, to make sure there's nothing settling, because then you can feel it. You could feel your brush drag. If you feel your brush snag your skin when you're trying to powder, that's the part that did not get any powder. And that is very important to remember. You know, if it's snagging just a little snag, that means you did not put enough powder there, and so it's still wet. But this is all dry and sliding. This is a Lorella brush. You don't need any fancy brushes. This just came in a mystery box, and I really like it for my dry powder to, you know, give me a lot of facial coverage. Now, I don't have, and I don't really use a brightener one. That I did think about. I was like, wait a minute, you don't really have a bright setting powder that you are setting, you know, powder that's in a compact. So sadly, I could not show you that for like the eyes or whatever. So I'm gonna just use my normal Ciate London setting powder, and I'm not gonna do too much, but I'm going to do it the way I feel. Whew. It gave me a little heart palpitation right there. Sorry, it has like a coconut smell. Whew. I don't know why that just gave me my heart just kind of like scared for a second, like it was going to be a roller coaster or something, or maybe I thought I was going to have too much of a white cast, but yeah, I just do that in my T-zone with the setting powder. Yeah, I must have thrown myself out a little bit. And just give it a nice little blend. And that is my basic base for the winter. Isn't that pretty cool? I mean, that's up to you. You can go further now. We all like to go a little bit further, always, right? And I don't see why not. I'm going to do a little bronzing. I don't have to now because, you know, in the winter I don't really feel I need to bronze that much, but I can contour to shrink my face. As you see, my face looks very round right now. Even my mother noticed that without makeup. So I had to let her know I didn't contour. I haven't bronzed to kind of shrink my face. And she wanted to know what that was. And I told her I still do the Marilyn Monroe, like, shrinking my face. Try to make that little transition. This is also a Lorella brush. I'm trying to like, you know, I've never really did a fan brush before. I had a small one for highlight, and it drove me nuts because it did not do a darn thing. And I think it was from Ipsy. No, it wasn't. It was from the mall. But I had ended up with one just like it from Ipsy, and I felt the same way, like, oh, you're not doing a thing. But as you see, just a little bit, warming me up, get me ready for my day. You know, feeling good about it. Good. Okay. So yeah, that's just it. A little warming up the face, and I've seen a lot of my ladies posting on Instagram, and I'm like, yes, keep it natural, keep it with a little bit of I just put a little bronzer on my eye here, just to warm it up. You know, and I'm using my big old fluffy highlight brush to do it too. So you're like, whoa, what are you doing? Yeah, things change in the winter. Our attitudes change in the winter big time when it comes to your makeup, because there's no reason for all the extras, or, you know, because the summertime is a little bit more summery, and unless you're going out to a, ooh, that is a very powdery blush. Unless you're going out, but it also has a sheen to it, so we're going to pull it up like a highlighter. You don't need that much of anything. Just a little extra here. You know? And then your nice lip, and you calling it a dizzy. I was going to do like barely this, I think. But I think because of the mask, nobody really wants to go into lips anymore. And I'm like, oh no. I found this at the Dollar Tree from LA Colors. And you know your girl loves her a good vampy lip. Any kind of lip, honestly. I love all the colors. But a mousse with a little bit of mascara, I think it's going to be the gig, you know? Because who doesn't like a good mousse? I mean, since we have to wear a mask all the time, and the shields are in, I'm shielding it up. Because my lips and my face, I am so tired of mask acne. Y'all don't even know. If you don't know, you do know. You know, for those who know, you know. Mask acne has been drama. So I'm hooking up with a shield and getting it done. And that is about it. I mean, honestly, just a little mascara or my lashes and I'm done. I didn't want to keep you all in here too long, but I did want to show you the new suggestions for the winter for your base that could help. It helped me out. It keeps me clear. You know, adult acne is a beast, and I suffer from it when I don't follow certain steps of my clean and my just my routine. And also making sure that my brushes are clean. That's a big part of that. And also just a little, swap out of my lighter products for my creamier, thicker, richer products during the winter to make my skin more moisturized and dewy instead of it hurting so bad. Because when your skin is drying out, it will produce more oil, which can produce more acne. And that's not good. But if you are already an oily person, you don't want to dry it out more and produce more oils. You really don't, because that would just mess it up. And if you have an oily T-zone like I do, you definitely got to watch it. It's just one of those things we got to do. Because if not, you end up with those things on the nose, and it's all bad. It's all bad for the nose. But other than that, keep it sexy, my busy bees, and keep on trucking on. And I'll see you all in the next one for more sweater weather.